Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Makeup Together, How to Make a Simple Dinner. This is just where I'm coming off of work, trying to make something super simple, quick and easy for my family. So tonight I'm going to be doing something really simple. This will probably end up being a short video, but I'm going to be making some baked sweet potatoes, some sausages, and then I'm going to be doing some zucchini halves baked in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and start by preheating the oven to 450. Now the sweet potatoes are going to go in there for about 45 to 50 minutes. I'm going to put them on 45 and then see if they need any longer. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven. So I have all of my sweet potatoes washed, and I'm sure many of you guys know how to do this, but I'm just going to show it anyway. So I have the oven preheating, and I'm literally just going to put the clean sweet potato in some aluminum foil. I'm going to cover it all the way. It looks like a little astronaut getting ready to go to space. Alright, so I'm going to do that with all of those. This aluminum foil I cut in half because literally this is from the dollar store, so you can get aluminum foil from anywhere, but this is the biggest or the longest box of aluminum foil I have ever seen before. So I just cut them in half. Oh. All right, so I'm gonna wrap all these up. I think one of these is going to be good per person. These are actually really big. All right. And then once the oven preheats, I'm going to set them in there. And once again, they're going to be in there for like 40 to 50 minutes. There we go. They're not all the same shape. And if you have some that's peeking out, it's fine. It's not going to ruin it. It just helps it. It's going to cook faster in the aluminum foil because it's like in its own like little mini oven in here. Alright, so I'm going to just wait on the oven to preheat, and I'm going to go ahead and prepare the zucchinis. I have all of my zucchinis washed, and so since the sweet potatoes are going to take so long, I'm literally just going to cut these and then just kind of, oh look, the oven's done. So let me go ahead and get these in so that way I can get started on everything else as soon as possible. So I'm going to be putting them on just the top shelf. And preheating the oven here. Alright, so now we got the oven preheated. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the zucchinis. I already washed them. Just gonna kind of stack them up right here. I'm gonna be cutting off this end, and then just cutting it in half. That's how I'm gonna make these. And so when I have done these in the past, I use panko crumbs. That was before I was gluten-free though. Oh, always oil the pan. But that was before I was gluten-free. So I still need to try to find a recipe to make panko crumbs. So until then, I'm just gonna do these. I'm gonna make like a buttery, cheesy garlic kind of paste to go on top there. And that's gonna just have some butter and garlic and seasoning in it. And I'm gonna brush those on top of the zucchinis. So I'm just cutting off the ends, cutting these in half, trying to make sure the halves are about as even as possible, and I'm just going to be layering them onto the pan. So I have all the zucchinis cut over here. I ended up actually taking out 3 zucchinis because honestly I don't think we're going to eat all of these in one sitting, and I don't want food to go to waste. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the mixture that's going to be going on top. I have just some butter here. I'm going to go ahead and put some in the bowl and melt that, and then get the seasonings in there. I put the butter in there for 20 seconds. It melted pretty much all of it, just got a little bit left. And I used about 2 tablespoons in there. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of seasoning. We have some pepper, We have some red pepper flakes. Not going to be using too much of that. Little bit of salt. And by the way, the butter that I get is unsalted because I like to be able to control how much I use. I'm also going to be adding a little bit of cumin. And then I'm going to actually add some oregano as well. I think I have some, or yeah, we can put a little bit of thyme into it. A little bit of thyme. Why not? All right. So I'm going to use one of my favorite kitchen tools, this little food brush right here. So I'm going to just mix all that up. I'm also going to be putting cheese on top, but I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want the cheese to burn. These are also going to go in there for on 450, but they're going to go in there for about 20 minutes. So I'll put the cheese on there when it gets closer to time. All right, so I'm just going to brush this across here. It's painting your food. And so the last time I did this, like I said, I was using panko crumbs, just added a little bit to it. You can also make zucchini fries, which are also fun. But I'm really big with food baked in the oven. I just really like it. So I'm painting that on, really trying to get most of it on the actual zucchini because once it gets on the pan, then it just burns. I feel like an artist over here. Just painting my zucchinis. Oh, and looks like I made just enough. I'm literally scraping the bowl for anything at this point. Oh, I think I got it. And so when there's about 20 more minutes left on the potatoes, I'm going to throw them in. That way I can try to get everything done at once. So I'm just going to let these sit here for about the 15 minutes that they have. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil on top. And then these are just going to wait over here until it's time. And so today we're going to be just making some mild Italian sausages. Nothing super fancy. These I'm also going to start when the potatoes have a little bit less time, so that way everything is kind of done at once. I guess I'm going to go ahead and just grate up the cheese just to make it a little bit easier, make use of this extra time. So you can really use any cheese that you want on this. I'm just going to be using just some regular old mozzarella. I have made these with Parmesan. That works well too. You can always do cheddar if you have that. But I really want some mozzarella cheese. So we're going to grate some of that up and put it on there. I really like doing these super quick dinners, even though, I mean, it's not super quick as like time-wise because the sweet potatoes obviously take some time, but just being able to kind of take things slow and not having a really rushed dinner. That's really awesome. All right, so I'm gonna just grate some of that, not too much. All right, and that's pretty much all that I'm gonna grate. And I really like this cheese grater, just with this container that comes out of there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cook the sausages. So the potatoes have 35 more minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get everything else going, even though these aren't gonna take 35 minutes. I'm still gonna go ahead and get it going. So these are just regular sausages. I try to get the organic ones. So yeah. So I just heated up the pan to medium here. And I'm just gonna lay the sausages in. And I'm gonna let those cook. I'm gonna go ahead and put the zucchinis in the oven. All right. And with the sausages, I always like to just kind of stab them a little bit on the top before cooking. I've just always done it like that. And it helps get some of the juices in the pan. Just cutting through that casing. And then usually I'll poke them again when it gets a little closer to time that they're done. So I'm going to go ahead and put the zucchinis in. When they come out, they'll be nice and toasty. Alright, so we got the food in there for another 33 minutes. We got the sausages going, cheese is grated. I got the table set up. So now I'm just going to kind of wait and just make sure that I keep an eye on the food that is cooking now. So while we're waiting on the food, I'm sure everyone has seen my little puppy. He's not really a puppy, he's actually 16. This is Max. He is definitely our food vacuum cleaner, or really anything that falls on the floor he'll sniff and try to eat. So we got to be careful. Yeah, so he is 16 years old, and he is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. He's so sweet. Yeah, we've had him for quite a while, and I love him. Even though sometimes he is in the floor in the kitchen waiting for us to drop something. I can't tell you how many times I accidentally stepped on his paw or something like that, but he's so sweet. He's getting white. He used to just be like this one color all the time. And actually, I didn't realize that dogs age like that. Like, I didn't realize that their fur kind of turned white. So that's little Max, and he's so sweet. So I have a dog, 2 leopard geckos. I had a chameleon, R.I.P. Camille, and I'm actually going to be getting a cat soon. So I'm really super excited. I kind of want to get a kitten, but I'm not really sure because they're a little, they kind of crawl on, not crawl, but they, chew on everything, I've heard. So, but we got Max when he was a puppy, and he was a good puppy. He didn't really chew on any shoes or anything like that. He's always been pretty chill, and now he just likes to sit down on his one spot in the couch and just likes to be pet. So I'm sure you guys have seen him walking around in the video, so I just wanted to introduce you guys since we had some more time. So he's gonna go rummage around and see what else he can eat. And I'm gonna go dust myself off outside so that doesn't get in the food. So while we're waiting on the food to cook, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my cousin in France. Bonjour. I actually don't speak French because I moved to America when I was like 1. So yeah, that was my French. Bonjour. But she reached out to me today and actually sent me this recipe for a key lime pie. And with Memorial Day coming up, I think that is the perfect summer dessert. I've never tried to make a key lime pie, but I definitely enjoy eating it. And this one was a keto paleo one, so it had avocados, which if you watched my hashtag Mommy and Moo Try Something New, which is my Friday night podcast with my son where we just try something new, you know that I do not like avocados. But when you put them in things, I've made brownies with avocados and you cannot taste it. It just adds a creaminess. So I'm going to be making that this weekend, and I'm going to share with you guys that recipe. It looked like it was super easy. And so if you guys have anything that you guys want me to make, please send them to me and let me know, because I would love to make them. Yeah, I just wanted to give her a quick shout out while I'm waiting on this food. So the zucchinis have been in there, and I think that they're about done. So I'm just going to flip them over. I hope you can see that. So when I'm flipping them over, they are pretty brown and golden on this one side. I'm going to have to use a knife. Alright. So that is the good golden color that I want to see on them. And so I'm going to flip them all around. I'm going to put them in there for probably another 10 minutes or so they can get that same kind of golden color on the other side. And then I'm going to be sprinkling them with cheese. So I'm not going to add any more olive oil or anything. I think you're good like that. There's still a lot of oil on the pan, so I'm not going to add any more. And so the potatoes, I ended up putting them in there just for 50 minutes. So they have been in there for 45. There's 5 more minutes on the timer. So it looks like everything's going to be done all at the same time, which I'm excited about. All right, so I'm going to put those in there. I'm going to take these out and kind of squeeze it. Yeah. These are about done. So I'm just going to kind of take my knife and just poke them. Yeah. Yeah, so these probably need like another 10 more minutes. The potatoes. And the sausages, they're pretty much done. I have them on a really low heat. I'm just kind of keeping them going. I'll continue to stir them. The other side, they're pretty brown on either side. But they're less on this side, so I'm going to leave them like that and just kind of let them sit. I don't really like to keep them covered for that long because I don't like the texture of the sausages. So I'm just going to leave them uncovered like that. Because I think when you put the lid on there, they don't get like that kind of grill feel, if that makes sense. So I just covered them for a little bit to let them kind of cook a little bit more. And I'm just going to continue to poke them a little bit. And so this has 4 more minutes. Well, now it says 3 on the timer, so I'm going to just make that to 11 more minutes. And then food should be about done. So the food has about 3 more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and go set the table and everything while I'm waiting on that. But this concludes this episode. Be sure to check out my Instagram page with the final result on the plate of what this food looked like. It was a super quick and easy dinner. Healthy, not really the sausages, but everything else. So if you make this, make sure to tag me in it on Instagram. I'd be glad to share it. If you have any ideas of things that you want me to cook, like my cousin in France, thank you. Please be sure to let me know. I look forward to making those. And please be sure to check out my other podcast. I also have Avon Together, #AvonTogether. That's just where I'm trying out different products from Avon, which I sell. And then also #MommyandMoo, which is just me and my son. And we do a podcast every Friday, Mommy and Moo Try Something New, where we try a new food, a new drink, and see. So be sure to check those out as well. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Give me some feedback on if you like the videos or things that you want me to make next time. I really want this to be a community thing where it's not just me talking, but also just communicating with everybody else. So I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and I will see you next time. Bye.